Greetings everyone, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Yeah, so right now, as you've been seeing, if you have been seeing, I'm doing Emmy's path right now. And after Emmy's path, I'm gonna stop for a while because I think there's still three other characters that I have to do. Three other characters. So I'm gonna stop for a while after I finish Emmy's path. I don't know when that will be, because I don't know how close I am to finishing it. But just keep in mind, I will be stopping for a while to play other games. And probably the next character is gonna be Rin. But whatever. It says, I leave the room after finishing my final exam and breathe a sigh of relief. As I'd hoped, the exams weren't so bad. I managed to breeze through just about everything, but the English final. And even that was acceptable. I wonder how Emmy did. Even more so, how she's doing. She looked terrible at lunch today. I mean, she was pretty happy to be out of her wheelchair, but she was so exhausted. Something's been wearing her down. Something's been wearing her down. I'm starting to really doubt that it was just the exams. I wonder. It's not like it's gonna be like a Lily situation, because it wouldn't make any sense to have it like other characters. In the Lily ending, Lily was basically about to leave on a plane. Should I confront her about this though? My musing is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder. Hisao, got a minute? Hold up. I need to go find the paper I had. Okay, got it. Okay, so I gotta do. I suppose I can spare a few minutes. Yes. So that's the one I have to do. Okay. Yeah, I've got some time. Nowhere important to be or anything like that. Muto raises an eyebrow as if questioning my statement, then beckons me back into the classroom. Okay. I want to get some feedback from you if I could. I know that this course wasn't quite up to your level. Don't worry about it. The science club activities more than made up for that. For it. Did they? Well, in fact, that's what I wanted to talk about. Do you think that was a worthwhile activity, just for my own reference? Well, yeah, it was a great way to go further than we did in class. It was definitely worthwhile. Mito seems delighted by my response. That's great. Exactly the sort of thing I was hoping for. You know, Isao, I'm glad you came here. It's always good to have a student who really gets into the subject you teach. In a way, it makes dealing with the rest of the students more tolerable. You're a bright kid too. You took to this stuff like a duck to water or some others such Simile? What? Thanks. You were a great help, especially when that college stuff. There's one more thing, Isao. A bit of advice from one scientist to another. What's that? What does a scientist do? Observe the world around him? Exactly. Good. A simple question, but one that most people can't seem to answer. That's the essence of a scientist, Isao. We observe what's there and try to figure it out. But what if there's something you can't figure out? What's a scientist to do if he can't observe something? How, for example, can we talk about quarks? Quarks when nobody has ever seen one, or black holes when observing them directly is impossible. Well, scientific equipment's pretty advanced. Muto irritably waved away my response. No, that's not it at all. Those are tools. I'm trying to give you a philosophy. Think. If you can't observe something directly, then how can you observe it? I guess. How? How would you guess the movements of a quark? What is your guess based on? Of course, I should have thought of it earlier. The things it affects? Muto claps his hands together excitedly and whoops. Yes, exactly. Good. Remember that, Hisao. If you can't examine something directly, it's because you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at it differently if you want to uncover the truth. And if it eludes you, then look at what it leaves behind. That is the essence of being a scientist. We never stop looking for the answer, Never take anything for granted. Observe, experiment, and observe some more. There's a lot of stuff out there that makes no sense, Isao. Your job is to get it to make sense. Nothing else. I hope you learned that here. I think I can remember that. Mitsuo smiles, satisfied. Good. Now go enjoy your time off. You've earned it. I leave the room feeling a little confused. What brought that on? Although, am I going about this thing with Emmy the wrong way? If she won't tell me, then can I go about it some other way? I don't know. Okay, so according to my list, there's only 2 other choices left. I don't know how much left of the game there is, but there's only 2 other choices left, so I gotta keep an eye out for those choices, and I don't know when they'll be in the story. I think I might be on the last chapter, but I don't know. I don't know what chapter I'm on, actually. Either way, the question keeps spinning in my head, even after I made my way back to my room. What if she gets angry about it? Besides, what if it's nothing? If I go in and refuse to leave until she tells me what's wrong or something, won't that come off as clingy? I don't want to start a fight or anything over something like this. Maybe I should just drop the matter and see how she is tomorrow before I do anything. Would it be so bad to just let it go? It's not like we don't enjoy each other's company, but odd as it sounds, I really want to help her. I don't even know what's with or if there's anything at all she needs help for, but I want to. Suddenly, a knock on my door rouses me. Fucking Kenji. God damn it, Kenji. Hold up. I open it to see Kenji. Oh, it's you.
It's me. That's it. If you had any idea what I'd been through, what I'd done, you'd be happier to see me, dude. I mean, that was some epic you may never see me again shit.
Man,
and here, you're just acting like I went down to the store for some milk.
you probably did.
You're a cold man, Isao. I really respect that.
Thanks, I guess.
It's smart to play it off, don't show any emotion.
I don't care about you, Kenji.
Keep your cards close to your chest. Unless it's time to show your cards, or you have bad cards. Then you should fold or collect your winnings. Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I take it the mission went well?
Wow. Awfully noisy of you, isn't it? You can't just go saying things like that. Things are at a delicate stage. One wrong move and bam! The invasion succeeds.
I thought you were going to blow the conspiracy wide open.
It's bigger than I thought. I need to update my charts. And probably change some of the puppets around. You want help? I've got some whiskey from somewhere.
What?
You can fill me in on everything your investigation has turned up.
Better not. I supposed to meet her today. Gotta go do that. Can't raise suspicion. Kenji nods in approval.
Still keeping it close to the chest, eh? Okay, man, I respect that. Good luck.
Thanks. I'm just going to pretend, for the sake of my own sanity, that he's wishing me luck in talking to Emmy. And if I squint, the whole card analogy he was talking about works here. Time to lay it all on the table. Or see if I can't get Emmy to do so, rather. Oh, I didn't even get to read that. I hop up the stairs leading to her room and knock on her door.
Who's there?
That's odd. Her voice sounds a little choked. Hey, it's me. Thought I'd stop by.
Isao? Come on in.
I reached down to open the door only to find that it's locked. More and more curious. Are your doors locked?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Give me a minute.
In a few minutes, Emmy opens the door, grinning.
Sorry, I had to put my legs on. I was napping.
Despite her grin, there's something definitely off. Emmy's eyes are slightly red, and it looks like she's been crying. Hey, no problem. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's just that you look like It's just that you look like you've been crying. Oh yeah, Isao, you're off to a great start on this one.
What? Nah, I'm fine. I'm just happy to see you.
Okay, I'll hide this, even though I already got this screenshot, I think. I'm pretty sure I already got one of this. Whatever. She punctuates this with a long kiss that continues as the door slams shut behind us. I know what she wants to do now, and I'm also painfully aware of how badly I want to do it too. But I break the kiss with a wrench of self-control that nearly kills me. Hey, wait. Emmy's eyes crinkle in confusion.
Huh? Wait for what?
We need to talk.
Isn't that supposed to be my line? And never a good thing to say.
She's got a point. It's usually the lead-in to a breakup, or the prelude to a fight. Maybe it can be a good thing this time. That's the hope anyway.
Can we at least get onto the bed? It's my first day back on these things and I'm still readjusting. Plus, the nurse said I should try to be on them less often since running puts such a strain on them.
Can't argue with that. It's a trap. We both know it, and we both don't care. Then again, it's awfully hard to get angry while in bed with the object of your affection. So maybe there's that motivation too. Okay. I set Emmy's legs by the bedside and sit down next to her, throwing an arm around her shoulders. In silence, we just enjoy being able to be in this position again for a few minutes. Then, of course, I need to ruin it by opening my mouth. Look, I know that you've been having kind of a rough time of it lately, and I want to help you out. I thought it was just exams getting to you, but now I come to your room and you've been crying. That kills me. But I can't do anything if you won't talk to me about it.
I told you, I'm fine.
No, you aren't. It's obvious something's eating at you. You can tell me, you know. There's the slightest increase in tension in Emmy's voice.
Why is my saying I'm fine not good enough? You're concerned, I get that. That's cool. But I'm fine, and it's nothing that you need to worry about.
Not sleeping and spacing out more than Rin doesn't strike me as being fine. I just want to help you. Yeah, I don't like seeing you like this. I want you to be happy, you know. I get the feeling that came out wrong because Emmy fixes me with an icy stare.
So you want to fix me, Yisao?
She's definitely getting angry now.
Wanna swoop in on your white charger and save the day? Stop the nightmares, the phantom limb pains? Restore what's lost?
Her voice catches in her throat and the tears start to flow.
Well, you can't. Nobody can. Nobody will.
So stunned by her sudden verbal assaults that I remain quiet. Neither of us says anything for a while. I'm surprised that Emmy tightens her grip on me rather than pushing me away. After a deep breath, she starts talking again.
Look, I'm sorry. There's these nightmares about the accident.
The accident. I should have known. It took her legs after all, but it never comes up, of course.
And I usually deal with them fine because I can run. Running clears my head like nothing else. I don't have to worry about anything while I'm running. I just concentrate on breathing, on the rhythm of things. It's easier that way. Life's easier that way. Just keep moving forward, you know? Nothing else matters, just getting around the next curve. And then it's the next curve and the next until I can't go anymore, or think anymore, or do anything but slow down and walk until I catch my breath again. After something like that, nothing else matters. But I've been stuck in that goddamn wheelchair for too long, so no outlet. But today it just kind of boiled over a little. You could have talked to me about it, you know. You didn't have to go it alone.
Emmy smiles sadly, like she's trying to explain to a child that all fire burns.
Yeah, I did. And I do.
Why? Why do you have to keep going through this alone? Why can't you just trust me enough to let me help you? That smile again. Emmy leans in and kisses me on my cheek, an almost motherly gesture. She leaves her mouth closed to my ear as she confesses this one thing to me.
Because, Isao, I've already had everything I knew ripped away from me once. I don't know what I'd do if it happens again.
She pauses as if uncertain as to whether or not she should continue.
I can feel a violent churning in my gut. She continues. So I can't rely on you, or the nurse, or anyone else. Just me. That's how it's got to be.
Having delivered this short speech, she looks down and covers her mouth with the back of her hand. The conversation is clearly over. I search for something to say, but can't think of anything. Maybe I should go for now. I've got stuff. Emmy doesn't even look up. She sounds tired or relieved. I can't tell which. Okay, Hisao. Go take care of that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I get off the bed and head for the door, pausing at the doorway. Hey, Emmy. Yeah? 1,000 things I want to say. I'm too mixed up to say any of them, though. After her admitting that she'll never let me close, I feel like my world has just been ripped out from me. What happened in that accident? I know she lost her legs, but that's never seemed to bother her. What happened there? What scares a girl so badly that she won't accept help, even from someone she loves? I don't know. I want to know. I want to know so badly that being denied that answer feels like a knife in my guts. Hisao? You were saying? I still stand in the doorway. Nothing. Never mind. And I'm closing the door and walk down the hall, down the stairs, out the door, into the dark. Somehow, I wandered back to my own room. My brains are doing a mile a minute, going nowhere fast. I can't figure out how to deal with this. I thought that moving forward was a good thing. Dwelling less on a past that can't change, living in the present and looking at the future. After this thing with Emmy, I'm not sure anymore. She was saying the truth. It's simpler to look at the next curve, ignoring the path gone by. No worry about the opponents left behind. No care for the spectators on the sidelines. And unfortunately, no time to watch out for lagging teammates either. I throw myself down on the bed, looking at one corner of my ceiling as if the answer I wanted were written there. No such luck, of course. She's literally running away from something. But have I not been doing the same thing? Trying my best to forget about my hospitalization? I'm getting better, but my health isn't going to magically fix itself. Emmy has 2 legs instead of a heart to deal with, but those aren't going to magically fix themselves either. Maybe this is just as fixed as the both of us can get. The room becomes darker and darker until I can't really tell I'm looking in the corner anymore. Okay. The thing with Emmy though, she actually has legs. She doesn't have legs, but she has legs. She doesn't have legs, but she has legs. You know, she can still walk. You know, she can still do all that. You know, if our heart beats too fast, we're dead. So like, you know, you can't really compare. Whatever. The morning comes too soon, on the heels of a sleepless night. Is this how Emmy's been spending her nights? Staring at the wall or ceiling, trying to stop thinking about whatever it is. Her, in my case. That clenching feeling in my gut is still there. I can't rely on you. Words spoken so casually. Almost like she were teasing me or chastening me for suggesting that the earth is flat. That's how it's got to be. The way it's got to be sucks. I'm feeling so miserable that I very nearly decided to skip the run. That would be stupid though. It's not something I should do just to see her, but whatever. Sure. That was the original reason, but it's something more new. Or something more now, right? I started to enjoy the running itself. There are worse ways to get the blood flowing anyway. Never thought I'd say it after that first week or so, but I feel a lot better after a run. Like, no matter what else I do today, I've at least done that one thing. It wakes me up too. And Emmy herself said that running always clears her mind. Maybe it'll help clear mine. I hope so. Okay, the morning is cool and clear, if a bit humid. Summer's making itself known, it seems. Emmy's already stretching out when I arrive and greets me with a smile and a wave. Hey, Hisao! The sight of her so chipper is like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? I give a half wave and am surprised to receive a hug. Hey, about last night. Here it comes. I want to say thanks. I actually managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while, and I think it's because of our talk. So thanks. How could she sleep better after our chat? She basically told me that she wouldn't get any closer to me, and that let her sleep well? Excuse me, but what the hell? Emmy either doesn't notice my bafflement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Oh, no problem. Glad it helped. The venom that threatens to drip into my voice is controlled for now, but I think I'd better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emmy seems equally willing to start running, and before long, we're darting around the track. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Her running has gone back to the more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. It's a stark contrast to the almost brutal way she's been hurling herself around the track these past few days. Our talk really does seem to have helped her. A pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of the running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking about anything else but keeping my breath steady and legs moving. Guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple of laps. Annoyed at the lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. There's the burning sensation in my legs. The breath's coming ragged in my chest and pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. But it does seem to have gotten stronger. I can feel it pumping blood through my veins. The sound thrums in my ears, but instead of being panicked, as I was that day in the snow, I'm instead filled with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, that fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. I'm able to keep going now, and maybe one day I'll be able to stop worrying as much. Right now, it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and me. All that matters is that my arms and legs continue to pump in concert with one another. Nothing else. As I hit the final stretch, I reminded myself that running really does help, though not as much as I'd hoped. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. I can't bring myself to do it, so there's got to be a way around this, some kind of middle ground I can reach. Not sure what that middle ground is, though. Damn, I was almost feeling optimistic. Nice run, Hisao, you've really improved. Nice run? That's all I can hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Hisao, you're pathetic. Gotta change my attitude. Well, you know, I am pretty awesome. And yet, I just keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now, I'll be as good at hiding my problems as Emmy is. I'd like to think so. Why does she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice that it makes my heart leap. She doesn't mean it. She can't. I must be doing a worse job than I thought because Emmy peers closely at me. Hey, are you feeling okay? Maybe we should get to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I'd hate to keel over on you. Emily looks a little shocked at my bitter tone. Don't say things like that. You've already done it twice before, you know. Why does she act so affectionate? She doesn't really care. I thought she made that clear. But despite all that, I found myself apologizing. Even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. Sorry. Come on. Let's see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Damn, okay. Every time it feels like I've gotten over what happened last night, Emmy does something or says something that shows affection and I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of the knife that left me feeling bereft of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. And what are we at this point? And really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time I spend with her. Said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up with her. Was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? Okay. Also, so guys, yesterday I was at the gym. I was at my school gym, and so the gym is very far away from where my classes are. So I walk a very long time. So my legs are killing me. Well, not killing me as much as now, but they were killing me like a lot yesterday. What is killing me is my chest and my arms, because I was doing a lot of workouts yesterday as well. Yeah, it's the first time I've worked out in forever. So my arms are just like I can't open my arms. My arms have to stay bent, because if I try to extend them, it hurts like hell. So yeah, good thing I don't really need to extend my arm to use the mouse, but whatever. With this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes bounding out of the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to shower, I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office to give me the ritual once over. Any problems today? Nah, I even pushed it a little harder today than I have in the past, and I seem to be able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Hisao. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbed off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. At the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looks more relaxed than I've ever seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of year. I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach the subject. Then last night let me guess. She won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. How the heck did you... Hisao, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I've known Emmy for long enough. I know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. He says this in the sort of half affectionate, half frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with a pen. Look, you mind if I give you some advice? Sure, why not? Yeah, sure, why not? What was it Muto said yesterday? If you can't observe the things, then observe what's around it. Worth a shot. The nurse knows Emmy better than I do, I'll wager. Sure, I'm open to suggestions. Honestly, I'm kind of lost. I've got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins while he says this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal. Emmy is stubborn. You should know that by now. And if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, if she decides that she doesn't want to talk about what happened, then she's not going to talk about what's happening. Or what's happened. Has she said anything about what's been bothering her? Even a hint? Well, she did say she's been having nightmares about the accident. Really? You're making progress then. Good. Well, I guess I can fill you in on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed around this time because it was a pretty traumatic event considering what she's lost. That's the other thing. She acted like she lost more than just her leg. What happened? Whoa. Nope, not going there. You have to ask someone else about that because that's a whole can of worms I'm not about to open. If Emmy wants you to know, she'll tell you in her own time. You've just got to be patient, that's all. Are you even helping with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you even if you don't think she does. And you've got the best chance out of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, but she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So don't screw it up, got it? I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a moment, Emmy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. Why are both our pants down, huh? I wonder. The door bursts open and Emmy glares knives at the nurse. What? What do you want, Emmy? Huh? Asshole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forget something? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play the everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Oh, what's that? Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? My mom's making dinner and I thought you might want to join us. Well, of course I accept. Emmy punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Man, I wouldn't punch him playfully. I would have punched him like right in the face. Look at that stupid face. But I want to punch him in the face right now. Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hisao. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent? I'd love to go, Emmy. Thanks. Not meeting the parent. We've already met Emmy's mom. The nurse raises an eyebrow but says nothing. Why are you raising an eyebrow, bro? If you're thinking about something, you know, we've already done it like twice. Once in the storage room. Whatever. Great. I'll be in my room. Swing by after you shower and change into something clean and we'll grab the bus. Sounds good. I'll see you in a bit. There's no classes today? This time, it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. Okay. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she's just being polite and a free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. Great. Now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. Okay? It's kind of, you know, last minute, not gonna lie. I don't think I like riding on buses. Oh, I do not like riding on buses. I mentioned it on stream, which you guys can go follow me on my alt account, K Valley. It's the first link in the description below. I stream on there. I'm gonna starting maybe next week or maybe the week after. I don't know. I'll see, depending on the times. I'm probably gonna be streaming every Thursday. I used to stream every Mondays and Fridays, but I got a job and I have school basically all day on Mondays, so I can't stream on both those days. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna be streaming on Thursdays. But I mentioned on stream that I got in a bus crash. I got in a bus crash like a few weeks ago. I was at my school. I was looking around because I didn't know where all my classes were, but I wanted to look around before I started classes. And on the way back home, I was on the bus, and the bus just crashed, and I was just there. I was just like, wow. It was crazy. I was in the front. I was very close. Yeah. So that happened. So now I have like PTSD whenever I ride the bus. I have to ride the bus every day to get to school. So I don't like the bus goes remotely fast. And I'm like, fuck. So yeah, I don't like the buses going fast. Like, dude, why are you going that fast? It's so, God, whatever. Whatever. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump on the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up and on her prosthetics, so they don't look so obviously false again. But that doesn't stop the odd looks or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clank. I shift nervously in my seat, and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares either. Either that, or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I kept laying down on my arm. She's laying down weirdly. I don't know. Okay, you don't need to lay down like that. What? She was sitting down. She laid her head on my arm. And then she proceeded to like fall, I guess, into a full laying position. Now she's back up because I can't put my arm down. Okay, whatever. Okay. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Another fact is I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time pushing me away. The nurse said she trusts me, even if it doesn't look like it. But I'm not sure I can trust the nurse. He's protective of Emmy, just like I'm protective of Emmy. And I'd be likely to say something to make her look good if someone asked me about her. So he might just be doing that. Still, there was something about the way he seemed genuinely surprised that Emmy invited me along. Maybe last night's talk helped more than I thought, but I'm still worried. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Emmy's mother, but that was just as an acquaintance. Now I'm going to be as Emmy's boyfriend with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. An echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well be another life entirely. Except then, I didn't know that was going on. I also didn't have a medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Okay. Well, we're here. Where you living at? This place looks. Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. I follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So does your mom do this sort of thing often? Not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. A sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, her mom prefers solitude? Emmy laughs either from relief that I didn't ask about her father or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know. She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or so she says. Clearly, she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Hisao? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh, good. Now I feel twice as nervous. Though, to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Bolstered by this new thought, I've managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up, we're here. Yeah. The door swings open and Miss Ibarazaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. I'm never going to get used to that. You know, people normally wait for a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of... Or, no, that's her, okay. Okay. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them whatever. Ah, of course. Welcome home, dear. I've missed you. An affectionate hug later, we're inside. And it is only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. Ah, hello. Hello to you too, Hisao. How are you? I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah, yes. You finished up your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. It's certainly a weight off of my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emmy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know I get worried when you get all wound up about, well, exams. Certainly, Emmy's mother knows something I don't. Rather, she doesn't know that Emmy's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Miss Ibarazaki covers for Emmy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. I suppose Emmy's got more in common with Quarks than I ever realized. Moves around fast, impossible to understand through direct observation, yet she has an effect on everyone she encounters. I wonder if Miss Ibarazaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? Yeah, it's not been as bad this year as in the past. Hisao helped me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day. And she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looked forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little makes me feel better. Emmy's mother raises an eyebrow at the statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy or she's as surprised as I am. Well, then it appears that it's a good thing that you two have become so close. I tell you to take good care of my daughter, Yusao, but it looks like you're already doing that. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in having managed to ingratiate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's gotten me out and running. I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was before. I'd actually never thought of it that much, nor had I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckle quietly, then realize that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here, it comes out so naturally. There was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mother. If Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meets where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own. Despite my efforts to the contrary, Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side of people. I never quite figure out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she gets for starters. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Rin weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too. Okay. Oh, that reminds me. Rin says hello. I drift to the outer edge of the conversation again as we move into the dining room. To eat. It smells delicious in here. And the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Well, you've made enough to feed an army in here. Yep. Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there is a lull in the conversation while we dig in. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So Hisao, I hear that you and my daughter here have gotten rather close. The urge to say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but the reasserts control. We are close. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mom seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard, rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. Make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. Well, I for one found it a relief. Why is that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends. That is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways, and certainly the whole track team seems to love her. But it is true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say I'm that surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emi rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said? Nothing. Miss Iburazaki chokes on her drink and with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emi. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow, I don't think that would be very efficient. I learned most of it from you anyway. It's not the nurse. Okay. Don't listen to her, Hisao. She's a born liar. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Emi. I think your mother has a point. What? You traitor? You're supposed to take my side in this. Yeah, but you did lie about your leg after the meet. Ow. A kick to the shin from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Miss Iburazaki's eyebrows shoot upward. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I was just, in a wheelchair for a bit. The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emi's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why you kept dodging my calls. Oh, Emi, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course, she spends enough time in a wheelchair after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately? No, she had to finish healing up before they'd let her start the sort of therapy you got to go through to just do those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival? Emi's sudden change of topic makes me realize belatedly that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. Okay. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't. I didn't make it out of the festival, or I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet, it seems pretty weird to me. I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike. Rin's art is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise, but all the same, she doesn't think it actually works that way. I don't know. I don't like that type of art, you know? Why do you have a freaking a statue behind you? Why is there just a statue in your dining room? The heck? Is it a full-on freaking, I don't know, Greek statue or something? I don't really know. No. I'm surprised that Emi's talked about this with Rin extensively, enough to actually have Rin's opinions, such as it is. Although I expect that Rin could not, if she were so inclined to say the same thing about Emi's. Unless, of course, Emi is purposefully keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey, Emi, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Oh, crap. Let me do that. Are you going to visit your father this year? From the way she says it, you'd think that Emi's mother was talking about the weather, from the way Emi reacts. It's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches a slight jerk of the head backwards, as if she's been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It seems that Miss Iburazaki misjudged just how close Emi and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me. Her father is one of these things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things. If her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is any indication, it doesn't take Emi's mother long to realize she's screwed up. Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just want to ask if I could make plans, so I can make plans. It's fine, don't worry about it. Emi fidgets nervously as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago even. Why does a simple question about when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated, or it didn't help as much as she thought or claimed. I'll be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Shut up. Whatever. Emi gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Miss Ibarazaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emi's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. Okay, this is the last one. We talk to her mom, which I don't have the bad ending here. I should probably save. I'll save here. Because I'm pretty sure there are like 2 other endings, but I only have the path for the true ending. So we'll talk to her mom. There's an awkward silence at the table for a while. After Emi dashes off, I can't think of anything to say. Emi's mother sighs, breaking the silence. Sorry about that, Hisao. I sometimes forget that Emi's touchy about certain subjects. And I was talking about the wheelchair thing too. Should I go after her? Heavens no, she didn't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know. But if she's troubled, shouldn't someone help her? If it were anyone else, I'd say yes. But my daughter is stubborn as a mule, and if she wants to be alone, it's best to let her be alone. Otherwise, she'll probably say something she'd regret, which would cause you to say something you'd regret, and I prefer that dinner doesn't end with one or the both of you storming out of the house. If that were to happen, I'd be a terrible hostess, wouldn't I? I've already acted as a fool once today. That's okay. I shouldn't have brought up the wheelchair, apparently. Miss Ibarazaki frowns, clearly more bothered by Emi's omission that she let on me. I wish she wouldn't do that. It just makes me worry more, you know. She does this often? What? Running off to the bathroom? No, I can't say she does. Keep injuries from her mother, though. Well, that's a little more common. Every time I catch her lying like that, she assures me that the only reason she didn't tell me is because it wasn't a big deal. And if it's any consultation, I'm sure the only reason I knew about it at all was because I saw her every day. This elicits a dry chuckle from across the table. Miss Ibarazaki sighs a little sadly. Still hesitant about getting close to people, huh? I keep hoping that she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She's bounced back so well from the accident in so many ways. I guess some things never really go away. From the looks of it, the whole thing still bothers her too. God, I keep yawning. I cannot stop yawning. She seems to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emi around, though. Hey, I've got a question, if it's alright. Oh? What else did Emi lose in that accident? The nurse said that she gets this way near the anniversary and she won't talk about it to me. So you thought I'll fill you in? Yes, hopefully. Well, there's a problem with that request, you know. Let me guess, you promised Emi that you wouldn't tell anyone she didn't want to know, and you don't know if she wants me to know. Something like that. I promised Emi that she'd be the one to tell people the full story, but isn't that important? I mean, it's clearly had a huge effect on her. If she's still like this for so cannot read. If she's still like this so long after the accident happened. That's true. It did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are a few things that she'll probably never really get over. Like what? For a moment, Miss Ibarazaki looks incredibly saddened, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose there are a few things I'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, and with a shake of her head, Emi's mother banishes the memory. Okay, so the main character is clearly an idiot, because like the context clues are there. Her dad is dead. I'm like 98% sure her dad is dead. And the main character is such a freaking dumbass. Like, dude, the context clues are clearly right there. But bro's like clearly not like getting it, you know? What else would she not be like, you know? So man, the accident, you know, just definitely something else that happened on that day, you know? On that day of the accident, something else definitely happened. She didn't just lose her legs. It's right there, the context clues. Everyone's just saying it basically without actually saying her dad's dead. There's a saying, well, whatever. Okay, what's that? It wasn't a big deal. Somehow, I managed to keep my mouth from falling open in surprise. But it takes some effort. That has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's a pretty accurate summation. Emmy believes that the accident did not define her and that everything she lost that day didn't define her either. She's not that girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of this wreck without a scratch as far as she's concerned. Yet it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refused to rely on me because it would make losing me too painful. Not really. You said she won't tell you about the accident, even though you've asked her about it before. The reason she won't talk about it when you ask is because to her it's not something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting too close to anyone, she still wouldn't talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me? Oh goodness me, yes. For all that talk about being unscathed by the accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. So she's not going to let people get especially close to her, and she certainly would resent the implication that she cannot work through this on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no? Oh no? Are you sure you've been dating my daughter and not somebody else? Trust me, Hisao. She could get through it on her own. But she has nightmares and can't sleep well, and she does this every year. Tell me, if she wasn't able to get through it on her own, do you really think she'd still be alive? She would have killed herself or something equally melodramatic. Okay. So what should I try to help? So what? Should I try to help her? Or I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this, and knowing that she could rely on someone else would let me relax. You just need to understand that accepting her goes against everything Emmy thinks about herself and the way the world works. Okay. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I'd like you too, but it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. What does this mean? Honestly, I'd like you too, but it's not. But it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. What does that mean? Okay. What do you mean by this? You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anyone else she's ever met at Yamaku. Well, it sure doesn't feel like we're very close. Good. That makes this part easier. She just comes, just slides in, does this weird ass grin like something like that or something. I don't know. Bro, Emmy's voice nearly gives me a heart attack. Whoa. Didn't you come back, Emmy? How convenient. Wait, were you eavesdropping? Nope, just happened to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emmy, Hisao was just... Emmy holds up a finger, cutting her mother off. On his way out of the house. Yeah, I know. Emmy's trembling with anger now, looking vaguely betrayed. She's smiling. Like, why are you smiling like that? Why are you smiling like that? I can't smile because, like, I have to do this weird thing with my mouth. Like, I have to have it open, like together, like that. It's weird. I can't actually smile. I have to do a weird facial expression to smile. Whatever. Emmy, don't be ridiculous. We're just... You promised! The pain carried in that last word is almost too much for me to bear. The idea that I could hurt her that much is like being kicked in the gut. Emmy's mother looked similarly pained by the thought. I kept that promise. Just listen. There's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. Emmy's mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I'm a witness to it. There's only one real solution to this problem, I think. It's okay, I'll go. No, really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Thank you for dinner, Miss Iburazaki, and for the advice. It was my pleasure, Isao. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay, I have to watch what I eat anyway. Good evening, good evening, Emmy, Miss Iburazaki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, seems to snap Emmy out of her anger. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I've been so... And after last night, I just thought, you don't have to go, I take it back, it's okay. I can't help but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology, and I really would like to say, but I don't think I can right now. I need to think about what her mother said and about what I'm going to do about it. I don't want to risk accidentally getting Emmy angry again in her current state either. No, I think I'd better leave. You seem pretty shook up, and well, I'd only wind up trying to help you again. I know you'd prefer I didn't, so I'm going to leave instead. But... Hey, it's not a problem. You don't want a knight on a white charger, right? Just promise you one thing, okay? What? Don't be angry at your mom, okay? She was just giving me some advice, that's all. Emmy nods hesitantly, like this simple idea of all that she can grab onto at that point. She's so terribly off balance, but I can't do anything about that right now. Okay, see you tomorrow, okay? Running in the morning, don't forget. I can see that I've hurt Emmy by deciding to leave, but there's nothing I can do for her as things stand, and I know that she's too stubborn to admit that she wants me to stick around. I watch various emotions cross Emmy's face as she tries to process everything that just happened. Shortly comes that calm look again, like last night, and that voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Hisao, see you around. Both of us are unwilling to concede emotion at this point, and I'm having a hard time keeping up my facade. So I turn on my heel and walk out the door. Okay. I shut it behind me, slowly pausing for a moment at the latch as the latch catches my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision for now? Should I have stayed and tried to work things out? No. I decided, not in front of her mother like that. In spite of everything, I'd rather keep Emmy's mother insulated from the sort of anger that surfaced last night. Even though she's probably used to it, some protective instincts want me to keep Emmy's image as a cheerful girl intact. With the start, I realize my hand is still resting on the knob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. Okay? I let out a long breath. The wait until tomorrow morning comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I have to think on what to say to Emmy. I must apologize and I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something has been on my mind for most of the way back to my room. The letter of apology from Iwanako. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it that I didn't even bother to really read it. Now that I find myself in a similar position, my curiosity got rekindled. What did she want to tell me, want to let me know so badly? If nothing else, reading her thoughts might help me frame mind. I remember tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw that thing? I check under my desk, that turns up nothing, so I look for hard to reach, more unlikely locations. Well now, I know where that lost sock went at least. Still no leather though. It's when I try sweeping my arm under my nightstand that I feel something crinkle, jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little with the effort, I reach for my prize and soon manage to bring it into the light. Bingo. I sit at my desk and spread the crumpled paper open. A flick turns on the table light. Skipping past the empty pleasantries, I look for the point where I stopped reading. Here it is. Okay, I don't really care about this because I already read the note once before. Giving up on my happiness. That sounds unpleasantly familiar. Yada yada yada. Talking about all that stuff. Don't really remember, but I don't really want to read the note. So after finishing reading the letter, I smooth it out carefully and set it aside on my desk. Thank you, Iwanako. I wanted to answer yes to your question on that snowy winter day, but I never got to. By the time we meet again, it was too late. Or so I thought. what would have happened if I had behaved differently back in that dismally sterile hospital room? I'm sorry. There's no point in wondering now, but there's no point in trying to forget either. I am who I am because of all that happened to me, and all I look forward to experience, present, future, and past. And the past may just have taught me an important lesson now. I see. Okay. We're now on to the final chapter. Okay, so now we're on the final chapter. So she has 2 different legs? Huh. So she has like 2 different prosthetic legs, right? Because she was using ones with actual feet earlier. For one, she was wearing socks, and for 2, she kicks us in the leg, and they're like kind of feet. But yeah, I don't know. But let me come over to the library, right? Yeah, I forgot I accidentally started Hanako at some point. Okay, Emmy. What? Oh, this is guess who's coming? Never mind. Okay, there was something else here. Oh, it was here. I missed something. It's probably like the other option, right? The other option choice. Okay, this is actually short. Yeah, this is short because if you look at Act 3, we got these all right here. So I might be able to finish Act 4 next video, you know? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 there, and which is the shortest one out of all of them, I think. Because Act 2 is all of that, and Act 3 is all of that, and then Act 4 is this one. Okay, whatever, guys. So guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Stay tuned for probably like the final video of Katawa Shoujo for a while, and then I'll come back and do Rin's path. Which I have Rin's path somewhere here. Where is Rin's path? That's Shizune's path. There's Hanako's path. And Rin's path has the most amount of choices. So I'm gonna do that one. There's 20 choices in Rin's path, so I don't know if that makes it longer. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Like I said earlier, check on my second channel called K Valley. First link in the description. I'm playing Elden Ring every week or so. But I'm on a break right now. Yeah, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and bye-bye.